name is Matia Mokgeti. I'm from the Free State Development Corporation. Free State Development Corporation, we're actually the economic development agency in the province, falling under the Department of Economic Development, Small Business, Tourism and Environmental Affairs. It's such a very long name, but for short, it's called the STEA. Driving the economic development, we actually have 3 strategic pillars that deals with that. One being more on enterprise development. I think the country is facing its worst moment, the issue of load shedding, which in essence, when you take into the province, already remember that in terms of the unemployment rate, we are those that are highly affected. And that on its own, it says something to our SMMEs, and also it talks something to us as the funders. How do we reposition our funding models? How do we then talk about the energy issues? It becomes a serious issue that you must help government to resolve that issue. That's how then it starts saying as funding institutions, which include us as FDC, to say, your instruments to some extent try to address that particular issue. And that obviously we do hand in hand with our stakeholders. We actually, us as FDC, the municipality as well as DTIC, are the ones driving that initiative. So the whole intention is to embrace young people with innovative minds.
My name is Tabiso Khotle. I'm from the IDC. We are a DFI, Developmental Finance Institution. We are a national company because we are linked to a national ministry, which is the DTI held by Minister Patel. I think the issue with township economy itself is that we need to maybe have better inductions with entrepreneurs in that space to not treat the business as a township business only.
Right.
They need to professionalize the space, keep proper record keeping, so that they become a fundable or investable business.
My name is Letsogo Mipulai. I work as a business advisor at SEDA. We mainly focus on the non-financial support for our SMMEs. Our focus mainly is on most of the challenges in terms of facilitation to finance. We ensure that we do linkages and networks with different stakeholders that we work with. We do the marketing, that's the main focus as well. We have programs that are mainly focused even for women that are more channeled in terms of accessing international markets, because most of the challenges with our SME is to get to the international level or globally be recognized. Sometimes it would be lack of skills, lack of network, lack of information. In township, people are doing business to get something today. There's no proper records, like my colleague already said. There's no professionalization of what you're doing. So I think we need to move into more of that space. Exactly, that is what SEDA is more focused on now, to go into the rural and township areas and try to come up with programs that will ensure that the township development is taken to another level. We move from the second economy.
My name is Larry. We develop business models to address the issue of connectivity in townships. So we build our own infrastructure and we go to market with that product that we developed. Just one of them is we sell Wi-Fi for R5 for 1 day. For the poorest of the poor that can have to submit something to some form of institution just for R5. It's one of the success models that's running for 3 years now. To understand the economics of Kasi, it's a different world. It's not your suburbs, it's not your corporations. It's just a different economic system that's there. Going to townships or concentrating only on townships, there's a problem. And we are speaking to that problem with all our products. The connectivity came only now with the corporations coming into townships, home rushing townships with fiber and all of those things. While we are there for 10 years, self-funded. Speaking to the market itself, we see the failure now in the fiber industry. They come to Kasi, they roll out fiber, they come with their business models. People are not signing up. Why? They don't understand the markets. They don't understand how the economic system works. It flows differently there. So it is very important when you go to your areas with your product, understand the market that's there. It's not the South African market, not the global market, not the African market, but it's a Kasi market. It's different.
My name is Madule Kentu, or Luko. I'm the director and founder of SMME Digital Agencies, which is a conglomerate of creative media agencies that are focused on brand development through graphic design, web development, strategic growth for businesses, right? You can partner with someone that, for example, I have our company's graphic designer there at the back, Kelelo. He has his own company. Right. But then I said to him, okay, Sharp, you have your own company that you've just started. I need a graphic designer in my company. Why don't you just do that? And in return, you can use our facilities, you can use our resources, our skills. It's a win-win for both of us. So yes, that's how strategic partnerships can help accelerate your business growth. And when I came here and I put like SMME boards here and everything, people will be like, who is that? Right. But because I came in Innovator Trust's name, that strategic partnership, that gave me their audience. That gave me market access.
We have instruments to provide financial support. It might be that it might be outside our appetite, but because of the stakeholder engagement that we have, which would obviously be anything which is above 5 million, you'd expect the IDC to handle it, or any F. Anything below, that's our space. That's where we work closely with CIFA.
Whatever FDC needs from you or as a client in terms of compliance, we ensure that you get there. That's where we're saying if they say you need to be registered, we do that. If they say you need a license in energy, if you are, for instance, in an energy sector, that's where we come in as well to ensure what are the things or requirements for you to get there and how do we come in as CEDA and assist you to bridge that gap.
We are essentially different is we sit with different mandates. We sit with different interests of businesses. So the IDC, standing for the Industrial Development Corporation, industrial is actually the operative word. So we focus mainly on industrials as a sector, as primary for us, whereas your services sector, not so primary, and that's where the likes of FDC will pick up.
We are mostly the development funding institutions. Our main mandate is to assist or to develop the SMMEs, even before we start providing the service. So in how we need to be seen, it must be in that context that these people are there to try to assist. Even saying to one client, even if I decline you, you shouldn't see it as something that destroys you. To some extent, you must see it in a positive light to say maybe it's something that leads to development in the process. Issue of SARS, it's one of the bigger issues. We're trying to push government to say, this thing of giving big companies business, while you still have your SMMEs that can still at least eat a chunk of your business. But the problem is just that you'll find that there's still challenges of your SARS compliance processes, your NCR in terms of ITC of SMMEs, it remains, let alone the bigger issue of the market, because the market is also another thing. That would always force us to say, unfortunately, there's little to convince me that the business will sustain itself.
From the IDC, because we deal on the more complex side of lending, for us, we need your market to be verifiable. We need it presented. So a lot of business plans that we receive, it's a market analysis from Google. The population, LSM, how you present a verifiable market. You get your LOIs, you get your off-takers. So there are ways. An idea on its own as an entrepreneur is not enough if you're unable to knock on doors and sell it to those guys. Because what funders want to hear, I'm closing, they want to hear you say, I've got this product, I was able to go out there, knock on doors, now I sit with a problem. I don't have the capacity to meet my demand.
We need to start embracing such initiative as Innovation Trust, the ICT hub in Tabanchu, in Botshabelo, and quite a number of industry clusters that deals with Because I take your programs would more in the best interest of starting it from that point of ideation. Even
From nothingness.
Yes, to a level where you even try to place him to access to market. And that's where you'll find also as our role, we deal with issues of transformation. That how do we then start also trying to bring this into proper industrial SMMEs?
When have you ever been asked a question of whatever the government is doing, if it's working, and the answer was yes? You can never put the word government and success in the same sentence, right? But here's the thing. In our quest to getting funding, we forget who we are. We are entrepreneurs, and the prerogative of an entrepreneur is to actually make money off of sand, right? So we are too hell bent on getting this funnel of money trickling down to us from the government that we forget to be strategic on how to get that money. We need to start looking at the government as more than just a funder, right? We need to look at the government as the educator that they should be. I got those lessons through Innovator Trust, where like through them teaching me what compliance is and stuff like that, I got to learn that, okay, there's a lot more to business than just getting money.
Because of our process warrants us to conduct that credit assessment. But before even decline, we assess nature of your transaction. If the business is viable, we try to motivate it. But if your credit scoring would, to a point, disadvantage us, unfortunately, we can't find ourselves committing, because if something goes bad, then we'll be held accountable. But what I will always tell people to say, if you have a good proposal, come to us, let's look at it. We wouldn't just necessarily just decline it purely because of credit without looking at other factors. Because from where we're sitting, we deal with your application. Normally it takes a month to deal with a normal straight business loan, 1 month, for you to get the outcome. What might prolong the process is the nature of your transaction. If it wants us to do more feasibility process, it will then extend the turnaround time, providing we have this facility of contact financing. Those are the ones that get business from government and they need financial support. That one, it normally takes 3 weeks. We have initiatives that we must bring to try to see how best we develop our SMMEs. That's why we have stakeholder engagement with SARS, trying to assist our SMMEs to teach them, to take them through this process. Same with CEDA, where the business skills processes also comes into place.
Entrepreneurs, when they focus on producing a certain product, they then want to focus on retailing it themselves. So I think once you've produced a product, let the retailers retail it for you. You approach retailers. The issue around ITC, you can never separate yourself from your business. The fact that you're a shareholder, you are one thing. And with ITC, if you didn't do right by your creditors, call them, arrange for repayments, new repayment terms. Then the listing can be rescinded, meaning removed.
From our side as CEDA, we do briefing sessions every week. If you come to the branch, you get all the information that you need. We have access points. This we do in collaboration with other stakeholders, because some of the sessions, they are there to also share what is it that we can do and assist their businesses. Let there be an appetite from the finance side to say, I can invest in this business. We are there as CEDA to assist. In terms of compliance, we know there's a lot of challenges, but that's what we are here for.
For as much as we may be looking at the government for assistance, let us also look within our own selves, and we can help our businesses, because remember, there's a difference between a service provider and a business man, right? If you're simply doing your business, you're just a service provider. But the moment you start caring about the finance model, the marketing, the branding, everything, you then become a business person. So we have to look at it from that perspective.